we will make the world's first 150-degree ultra-wide-angle camera on a smartphone. I could tell you all about how wide the 150-degree field of view is, or you can experience it for yourself in this graphic. The field of view for the main camera of most smartphones is 84 degrees. The visual range of your images will experience a 278% increase with the 150-degree ultra-wide-angle camera. The second largest field of view in a phone is 128 degrees, and our 150-degree ultra-wide-angle camera has a vision area 20% larger than that. A wider field of view naturally lends itself to taking amazing pictures of landscapes and buildings. Let's show you some samples so you can feel its charm. Of course, with a little extra thought, you can apply that wide-angle technology to make all sorts of interesting photos. You can unleash your inner Van Gogh for surreal photography. And for those of you worrying about the camera adding a few extra pounds, the ultra-wide camera can counteract those effects. With such great hardware, the software features naturally have to keep up. We have developed the world's first Fisheye Mode on a smartphone. This feature is inspired by the camera industry's fisheye lens, which can produce a strong perspective or ultra-long depth of field effect. With a large field of view, the overall picture becomes even more visually appealing. Let's see the Fisheye Mode in action. We can only make educated guesses for the ways our industry-leading ultra-wide-angle camera can be used by smartphone owners. So we're calling you to expand the barriers of smartphone photography and unleash your creativity. That wraps up your introduction to how we've innovated photography. We can't wait to see what pictures will come from the mobile industry's first 150-degree ultra-wide-angle camera and the first Fisheye Mode feature. Finally, the time has come to introduce our third innovation of communication. With the rapid development of the mobile gaming industry and the rise of esports globally, more and more young people are playing games on their smartphones. Today's smartphone chip performance is getting more powerful, complemented by the improvements in high refresh rate screens. As a result, the experience of playing mobile games is getting better and better. But there is no perfect smartphone. I've asked many of our young users for input, and they responded saying they still encounter a lot of areas where mobile gaming is lacking. For example, network latency, heat throttling, and poor battery life. Heat dissipation and battery life have always been the strong points of Realme phones, which have been introduced to you in our previous launches. But one area that we still need to discuss is signal, and that's my final area of focus today. That being said, the Realme GT2 Pro will be equipped with a revolutionary antenna array matrix system. This system consists of 3 technologies: the world's first ultra-wideband hypersmart antenna switching technology, a Wi-Fi enhancer, and an advanced 360-degree NFC technology. So let's run through the details, starting with the world's first ultra-wideband hypersmart antenna switching technology. That's a lot of words to remember, so let me simplify it. This technology has 2 main features. One is that it supports a very large number of frequency bands, and the second is that its antenna design is beyond advanced. The Realme GT2 Pro supports 48 mainstream global bands, covering more than 150 countries and regions around the world. If you live the jet-setter life, this means you can get signal almost anywhere, as long as you brought your GT2 Pro. As for our antenna design, just what makes it so advanced? In order to fully appreciate it, let's start with some competitor designs. They generally only have 4 antennas, 2 at the head and 2 at the bottom. Can you anticipate what kind of problems this creates? Let me give you a hint. It's called death grip. Gamers often need to hold the phone at the top and bottom ends simultaneously, blocking the antennas, causing a significant drop in signal. That was them, and now this is us. The Realme GT2 Pro is designed with 12 wraparound antennas that cover all sides of the phone and support mainstream bands in almost all directions, all with the same signal strength. This way, when you're in the middle of an intense gaming session while engaging the death grip, your phone's signal will stay alive. The antennas at the phone's waist can still send and receive signal. Based on this wraparound antenna design, we developed an industry-leading free-switching antenna technology. This allows your phone to intelligently judge the signal strength of all antennas and automatically select the one with the best signal. For example, let's say that you were using the signal from the waist of the phone because you were gaming, and then you received a phone call. When you answer it and switch your grip to the lower end of your phone, the Realme GT2 Pro can automatically switch to the antenna on the upper part to send signal. Hyper-smart antenna switching technology is particularly effective in some weak signal scenarios, such as crowded train stations, university campuses, elevators, and subway stations where the space is relatively closed. We made special signal optimization for these weak signal scenarios, which enables our GT2 Pro to identify usage scenarios and intelligently prioritize the strongest network configuration. After conducting thorough testing in these weak signal scenarios, the GT2 Pro with hyper-smart antenna switching technology had up to a 3 decibel improvement in signal compared to the previous generation phone that does not support this feature. To put that into perspective, that's almost a 2 times improvement. We also compared it with a flagship phone without the hyper-smart antenna switching in the industry, and we found that the GT2 Pro's 5G signal has a significant advantage in reducing lag in weak signal scenarios. Lots of phones are designed for optimal conditions, but let's face it, you're barely in an optimal scenario, so it's only fitting to have a phone that can intelligently solve these challenges. Next, I want to introduce our Wi-Fi network enhancer. Firstly, we designed our Wi-Fi antenna to use a symmetrical design. This has many benefits that we'll explore further. As can be seen from these 2 images, the use of a symmetrical Wi-Fi antenna design causes the signal strength around the phone to be more balanced. This ensures if the distance from the router is held constant, no matter what position you're sitting in or in what room, you can receive practically the same network signal. We call it omnidirectional Wi-Fi technology. After testing, the use of symmetrical Wi-Fi antenna design improves signal stability by 20% over asymmetrical Wi-Fi design. In addition to our omnidirectional Wi-Fi technology, the Realme GT2 Pro also uses the most powerful enhanced Wi-Fi 6 in the industry today. Not to mention, it also supports dual Wi-Fi network acceleration, 5G, and Wi-Fi network overlay, as well as many other software features to give you a Wi-Fi network experience greater than you can imagine. Last, but certainly not least, I'll introduce to you a very practical 360-degree NFC technology. Almost all current smartphones have an NFC antenna placed on the back. This kind of design can only succeed when the back of the phone is placed near or against the sensor. Therefore, it requires a high level of accuracy in terms of distance and location. Let me use a common scenario that I've run into, as well as many people I've talked with, to illustrate this point. When I'm rushing to work in the morning and trying to pass through the subway gates, I have to slow down and carefully hold my phone over the NFC sensor to scan my phone. Often, I have to swipe several times before it actually triggers, and the last thing that I want before I've had my morning cup of coffee is to miss my train because I couldn't get through the gates. We asked ourselves, why can't we design a phone that can trigger a sensor from 360 degrees? Wouldn't that be so much more convenient? You may have realized that this was a rhetorical question. In any case, the answer is yes. For that reason, we upgraded the current NFC antenna design scheme, integrating the top 2 cellular antennas with an NFC signal transceiver function, thus forming the NFC 3-antenna array. As a result, we have increased the sensing area by 500% and enhanced the sensing distance by 20% compared to traditional NFC solutions. The morning rush is a game of inches, and I'll take any percentage improvement that I can get. The entire upper part of the GT2 Pro senses NFC signals in either direction, which makes it very convenient to use the NFC function to swipe your card or smartphone. Let me show you. That's all the updates that I have for you today related to the ways we're innovating communication. The ultra-wideband hypersmart antenna switching technology and Wi-Fi enhancement system allow you to experience a faster and more stable network. You gamers don't have to endure lags or latency when playing games any longer. The 360-degree NFC function can make your life more convenient and get you to work on time. These are the latest entries in our relentless pursuit of great innovation. I'm proud to say that the Realme GT2 Pro is a high-end flagship phone for the next generation. All its hardware and software features took our young users into deep consideration. What we have introduced is just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many more hardware parameters and software features waiting to be discovered by you. You can look forward to the official launch of our Realme GT2 series. We will definitely be bringing you more surprises. Finally, I want to say thank you again to all our media friends, our partners, business associates, fans, and all those who watched our live broadcast. I wish that your tomorrow is greater than your yesterday.